So let's start. What is digestion? Digestion, the definition is breaking of food into simple molecules to give energy. The food that we eat is containing complex substances like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Now, when the food gets digested, carbohydrates break to glucose, proteins to amino acids, fats, fatty acids, and glycerols. So, what is digestion? Breaking of food to simple molecules, and whenever the food is broken down into simple molecules, it gives out energy that is used by our body. Then, what happens? Now, what is digestion? Breaking of food. Where does the food first break? As soon as we take it in the mouth, we start chewing. That is itself the breaking of food. So the mouth is also called as the buccal cavity, and the digestion, the first point of starting of digestion is our mouth. Who all are helping in the digestion? The first is teeth. They help in chewing the food. The saliva is also getting mixed with the food and makes it a sticky lump so that it travels faster in our body. Okay, the saliva produces a liquid which is called as the salivary amylase. Okay, it is an enzyme. Okay, it is an enzyme. Okay, so enzyme is a biological term that we are using. So saliva contains salivary amylase, a special juice kind of a thing. Now what is this salivary amylase going to do? Whatever the starch is present in our food, that is broken down to sugar, simple sugars. It breaks it down to. Okay, so the salivary amylase which is present in the saliva is going to break the starch from our food into simple sugars, and the tongue is going to push the food into the esophagus. Okay, without our knowing, this is all happening. So this is an involuntary action that is happening. Okay, then what happens? From there, the food goes into the food pipe. Okay, it goes into the food pipe. The food pipe is also called as the esophagus. Okay, now it's a long pipe like structure that is present. Okay, now what is going to happen? How is the food going to go? The food is pushed down the esophagus from the mouth. How was this is connecting? This is the mouth or the buccal cavity, and this is the stomach. Okay, and connecting both of them is the food pipe or the esophagus. Okay, how is that working? It moves by the peristaltic movement. This name is not given, but it is an important name. What is this peristaltic movement? One side the muscles are pushing the food. So once the food is pushed, they are squishing. So whatever the food is in there, it will go down. Okay, and they will expand. And then after expanding, they will contract. So from here, it has to go further down. Okay, here they will expand so that the food should come. Once the food has come here, they will contract again. Okay, they will squish again. So this is the movement, but this is happening in a very short period of time. Within milliseconds it's happening, and the food is going through down. Okay, so that is about the food pipe, which is the esophagus pushing the food down from the mouth to the stomach. Okay, now this is a connection also from the mouth to the stomach. Now in the stomach, what is going to happen? In the stomach, we have some things which are called as your mucus. The stomach is a gland which is going to have, what do I say, it is going to have some liquids. One is called as the mucus, second hydrochloric acid, and the digestive juices. Okay, these are the things that are going to be present in there. Now how do these digestive juices work? Let's see about that. Okay, and mucus, the walls of the stomach, because the food is going into the stomach, and we are saying that there is acid in the stomach. This is a very strong acid. Okay, and this strong acid is required to kill the bacteria that is present in the food. Okay, whatever the bacteria or germs that has entered into the stomach or along with the food needs to get killed, and the hydrochloric acid is acting for that. Now when the stomach is having acid, that means the walls of the stomach may be very delicate, no, because the acid may destroy it. So what is this mucus? The thing that you get usually when you get cough or cold, something from your nose and from the throat, the secretion that you get is kind of a mucus. Like the same type mucus is present in the stomach. Now this mucus, if the stomach, this is the walls of the stomach, right? This is the walls of the stomach. So these walls are covered with a thick layer of mucus. Okay, a very thick layer of mucus is covering the walls so that they don't get damaged by this, by this hydrochloric acid. Along with this, there is this digestive juices present in the stomach. These digestive juices are helping in breaking down the proteins into simpler substances. Now, what is the proteins broken down to? The proteins are broken down into amino acids. Okay. So this is how from there, after the digestion process, from the stomach, the food now enters into the biggest organ called as your small intestine. Okay, this is one of the largest organ of your this is the largest organ of your body. Okay, longest and the largest organ of your body, not largest, longest organ. And it is the small intestine where the complete digestion of food takes place. Okay, it is only breaking proteins here. You see, what is it breaking in the stomach? Only proteins and bacteria is there. Where is the carbohydrates, fats and everything getting digested? It is happening in the small intestine. Okay, now how is it happening? Let's see. First of all, we have other organs, glands we have. One is the liver, the first one. The second one is the pancreas. Okay, now these are going to produce, the liver is the largest gland which is present right up on the right upper abdomen. Okay, and this liver produces the bile juice. Liver produces the bile juice and puts that into a sac called gallbladder. Okay, that juice which is produced by the liver, called as the bile juice, is put into the gallbladder. Okay, and this bile juice is responsible for fat digestion. Fats break down into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, now fatty acids and glycerols. Okay, say rolls. Okay, that's there. Okay, then the pancreas, they are also a large gland. The largest gland is liver, then the large gland is pancreas. This produces the pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice is going to break down carbohydrate, fats and proteins. All the three things can be digested using the pancreatic juice. And where is this pancreas present? Below the stomach. Okay, now all of these secretions are dumped into the small intestine. All the from the liver, the gallbladder and everything, these are dumped into the small intestine, and pancreatic juice and everything is dumped into the small intestine. And then the food is broken down into simple molecules, and the energy is released. Now, the energy that is released, it is released in the small intestine. Then how does it go to the different parts of the body? In the small intestine, there is some richly supplied with blood finger-like projections. There is villi in the small intestine which are like finger-like projections, and these are richly supplied with blood. More blood comes, more it gives oxygen for the small intestine to work, and it takes more energy that is produced in this small intestine and takes it and gives it to the different parts of the body. So the absorption of the digested particles is happening in the small intestine with the help of the villi. They are very important. They are richly supplied with blood and they are finger-like projections. They are present all through the pipe of the small intestine. Okay. Now, how is it supplied with blood richly? They are richly supplied by thin and small blood vessels. So what are they going to do? These blood vessels and the villi is going to absorb, give it to the blood vessels. The blood vessels are going to carry the digested nutrients and vitamins to the different parts of the body. Okay, now that process, carrying and delivering, absorbing, transporting and giving, it should be dumping, no, giving to the different parts of the body to function, is what is called as assimilation. So the villi is doing the assimilation, is helping in assimilation. It's not doing assimilation, it is only absorbing. From there, it is assimilated to the different parts of the body, transported and given to the different parts of the body. Okay, then comes the last thing, which is called as the large intestine. It is the small and the shorter part of our body, organ of our body. Its work, whatever the digested particles are there, are gone back to the body. The undigested things from the small intestine enters into the large intestine. And once they are entered, undigested particles may contain water. The small intestine does not absorb water. It doesn't absorb water. Okay, the large intestine only absorbs water. Okay, so undigested particles, that is the waste, plus the water is coming here, some small amounts of salts. The undigested remains here. The water is again absorbed by the large intestine and some salts are absorbed by the large intestine back into the body. And the undigested without water waste is called as feces. It is excreted out of the body, okay, in the form of a semi-solid waste, and that process of excretion is called as digestion. Okay, pushing out of waste from the body is called as digestion. Okay, this is how the digestion, the complete digestion takes place in our body. Okay, digestion, this is how it is happening in our body.